So who really wins the battle of reliability and maintenance costs between BMW and Audi? Let's check it out now. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mark with exoticcarplayplace, and today... So there's no secret, a lot of the German brands from BMW, Audi, Benz, Porsche, Volkswagen always get a rap. There's a bad reputation out there that precedes them, and a lot of people kind of like to take jabs, free jabs at those brands to say that they're not reliable, that there's typically lots of expense in owning those cars because they're so complex. Well, there's some truth to some of that, but also I want to add that there are no two car brands alike. BMW and Audi are actually very different in terms of maintenance costs and overall reliability. We won't talk in a lot of detail about one specific vehicle, but generally as a rule, there is definitely one brand that stands out more reliable and lower cost to run than the other one. So the first thing I want to let you know, I'm borrowing some statistics from AM Online, a great resource that has done a massive amount of research to follow up and find statistics on reliability issues, breakdowns, repairs, trends regarding vehicle issues. And they've trended a lot of great useful information. And with that information comes numbers. And I know all you guys like numbers, of course, because that really tells the story. So let's get rolling into this. If you talk about the lower cost vehicles and the higher cost vehicles of Audi and BMW, they are generally very similar within the first 6 years of ownership. The first 6 years is relatively low cost maintenance and operation for Audi and BMW, and they're very comparable between the two brands. Why? Well, primarily because A, it's got low kilometers, typically less than 100,000 miles within that first 6 years. As well, a lot of it's maintenance related, and a lot of it's covered under warranty. Generally speaking, the equipment, the cars in general, have much less wear and tear on them within the first 5 to 6 years. 6 years being that magic number. Of course, warranty's up in 5 years, but you'll notice there's a buffer, and the numbers start to display a significant trend after 6 years. Hence, give that buffer space of a year. Of course, warranty's up in about 5. So anyway, the first 6 years, BMW and Audi are very much the same. Then as you exceed 6 years, warranty is come and gone. Then what you're finding is typically Audis, on average, are approximately 12 to 15% more expensive to own and operate than their equivalent BMW counterpart. So when we say equivalent, well, how about the Audi A3, A4, and Audi A6 versus the BMW 1, 2 Series, 3 Series, and 5 Series. Okay, so it's a relatively direct comparison. The Audis after 6 years start costing more money to own. Now, it's not so much the minor maintenance stuff. So batteries and brakes, those sort of things are very consistent, and those things are relatively similar between the two brands. Where Audi starts to get very expensive are on the extra things: timing belts, clutches, water pumps, those expensive items that are sort of not intended maintenance items. They're things that sort of just break down and wear out. They're not the day-to-day, they're not the weekly or the monthly maintenance items. They're those things in between that start to wear out and get very expensive. And a lot of the expense isn't necessarily the quotation prices, for the parts. A lot of the expense comes in the complexity of accessing the material or the equipment on board. So to get to a clutch, to change that water pump, to change or update the timing belt. Those are the things that start getting very expensive, is access to those parts. And between Audi and BMW, it's very consistent. The lower the model, typically the lower the cost. As you move up the ranks in terms of complexity and exclusiveness, well, up goes the maintenance and upkeep costs. So Audi consistently is 12% plus. But then there's another trend that starts to happen. Somewhere between 10 and 12 years. So now the car has significant miles on it. The car is getting up in age, and often it has seen numerous owners by that time. After about 12 years, the cars start leveling off again. But there's reasons for that. You have yourself an older BMW, an older Audi, maybe it has 200,000 kilometers on it. Why would you spend a lot of money for an oddball engine light that doesn't seem to impact the operation of the vehicle. As a matter of fact, I know people very specifically who drive a Honda. They put a piece of black electrical tape over top of the engine light just so they don't have to see it. And they keep on driving. I guess that's why Hondas are so reliable. Anyway, moving along. So after 12 years, Audi and BMW sort of stabilize and level off again. And it becomes more consistent with all the car brands from Germany. And that's mainly because, again, like I say, people sort of tolerate more. If the car's running and it's not broken, why fix it? Why throw $5,000 at a car that's only worth $4,000? People know that. They're smarter than that. It's the art of diminishing returns. It's the concept of putting a $100 saddle on a $10 horse. Why would you bother wasting that money? So most people know better than that. That's where it gets expensive. And that's why people sort of shy away from the German cars, is because they think the complexity and the cost of maintenance is expensive. And sometimes, in fact, it is. However, a lot of times people defer it or just get away from those maintenance costs altogether just because they feel that, there's an easy way around it. Let's just not fix it. If it's not broken and the car's running, don't bother. So at the end of the day, everybody, short video, I just want to summarize that, yes, in fact, both car brands, Audi and BMW, have more reliable versions and less reliable versions throughout their lineups. But consistently, Audi is less reliable and BMW is far more reliable than the Audis, case by case, apples to apples, oranges to oranges. So if you really want to know, that's the story, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for checking it out. Don't forget to share the video, of course, and hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget the notifications bell as well, and we'll see you in the next one. Catch you then. Bye-bye.